So in this lesson, I'm going to talk about zip and how to use it to both compress your files and share them safely by encrypting the zip file you're going to produce. This is a best practice, to share your file both in an internal environment, let's say in your organization, for instance, or with your colleagues, friends, and whatever, but also externally if you have to share them to, for instance, a customer rather than someone that is outside your organization. So coming into the technical stuff, the first thing that you want to do is to obviously head where your files are. So let's say that I have them in my home folder in Rocky, such as test file test1, and they are txt files, but you can do the whatever. I'm just going to create some files just for the sake of this video. So I have my file test 1, 2, and 3, and now obviously let's say that I want to enrich them with something. So let's say that file test txt, I want some strings and some words in it. Words test, something like that. So only the file test 1 is going to have something, but I mean that's not really important for the sake of this video. And once you have your files ready, you might want to check that you do have zip installed on your system. You can, for instance, type zip -help. In this way, you should be prompt something similar to what I have right here. Otherwise, just install the zip package on your system. For instance, on a Red Hat based system, you either type dnf install zip, or if you are on a Debian based system, you can do apt install and so on. So use your package manager to install the proper package. Now I do already have the zip on my PC, on my virtual machine. So let's say that I want to encrypt the 3 files that I have created, and I can do it this way. So zip the name of the zip file I'm going to create. So for instance, zip test file test.zip. It is going to contain all the 3 files that I have created. If you want to do that, then you have to type the name of each file after the name of the zip you are going to create. Specifically, you want to type the path to the file you want to compress. So in my case, I can just type the name of the files because they are in my local folder. Otherwise, if they are, for instance, in the opt folder, just type the absolute path and you will be good. Okay, so you can see here that now I have my file test.zip, which will contain all my 3 files as I wanted. So if I do this, for instance, file underscore test.zip, you can see here file test 1, 2, 3 txt all inside. Now I have my zip file, but let's say that I have and also before that I do the compression with the encryption. I want to show you how to compress a folder. So for instance, let's say that I have my folder test of test. So let's say that I have them there. Okay, you can see they have been moved. Perfect. So let's say now I want to create file test2.zip, and I'm going to specify the name to the path to the folder I have to compress. So you can see here I added simply the parameter -r for recursive, so this will cycle all the files that are inside the folder and put them into the zip file. When you will recreate, when you will unzip, sorry, the file test that contains a folder, you will be prompted with the folder itself. So for instance, I can remove safely this folder test. Sorry. My folder test, unzip file test2, and now I have folder test again. So if I do ls folder test, you can see I have my files back. So keep this in mind. Sometimes it might seem like obvious and banal, but when you start to write some scripts for your own to automate some things, then it usually happens that at a first timer you don't really remember what happens when you have a zip file with a folder inside it. So that's something to keep in mind. So now let's say that you want to recreate the file test2.zip, but this time encrypted. What you want to do in this case is to specify again the -r, because it's a folder. So you want to cycle all of the files inside it to compress them all, and then add the -e parameter, so that it will ask you to input a password after you press enter, like this. So let's say password 1 and password 1. The verification fails, so if you input a password that is wrong, it will tell you. Let's try again. And there you go. You have your encrypted password. So now if I remove the folder test and I want to unzip the file test2 to get its files, I first have to input the password. Let's say I will input a wrong password. I cannot unzip it. I will try again. I will try again and again. So as you can see, it will ask for the password for each of the files that are contained inside the zip file, which might take a while, you know, if you have many files inside it. So you can just press the Ctrl+C as always, and it will go back to the original state and exiting the password. Now let's type in the right password. If you type in the right password, you will have all the files encrypted immediately, so you won't have to input the password every time for each of the files that are inside the zip. And now I have my folder test back together with these files. And you can also use unzip in a different way. Let's say that now you have the file here, but you know, you might want to have the files in another folder. Simply put -d in and the path to the folder where you have to move the unzipped files. So for instance, opt. Now, just to show to you how it is, the opt folder to me, it is empty. At least there are no there are just hidden files in it. Let's see. Yes, I mean, there is nothing. So let's try and unzip it. And there you go. You have your unzipped files where you want them to be. So keep this in mind if you will ever have the need to use the zip. I hope so, to use zip in your reality, in your environment, and remember to always use a password to encrypt them. If you have the need and you can afford it, just use a password manager to create the temporary password, or you know, in general, the password for this. There are free tools out there as password managers that can create, or in general, free tools, even in the browser, in the internet. So I hope this video has been proven useful to you. If so, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you.